sanctions. A Chinese naval drill near Japan has sparked concern in Tokyo, prompting Japan to lodge a formal protest with Beijing and publicly release details of Chinese military movements. In an unprecedented show of force, China's two aircraft carriers, the Shandong and the Liaoning, have been conducting simultaneous drills in the Pacific over the past few weeks. According to Japan's defense ministry, Chinese fighter jets have carried out more than 500 takeoffs and landings from the carriers, with some jets coming dangerously close to Japanese surveillance planes. Japan's defense ministry responded by releasing a map tracing the movement of the Chinese carriers since May the 25th, showing their proximity to Japanese islands and their presence within Japan's exclusive economic zone. China has defended its actions as consistent with international law and accused Japan of conducting dangerous renaissance that has raised maritime and airtime security risks. Amid these exercises, China also updated the status of its newest and most advanced carrier, the Funjian, which is expected to enter service later this year. We move on once again. South Korea's President Lee Jae-myung has unveiled a $14.7 billion spending plan to boost the slumping economy. The total package stands at $22.9 billion, including cash handouts worth $7.5 billion for all citizens. Most will receive around $180 in vouchers. Lee called the slowdown very serious and urged immediate action. The central bank recently slashed growth projections amid tariff pressures from President Donald Trump and domestic turmoil. The plan also funds artificial intelligence, infrastructure and small business support. The deficit will rise to 4.2% of GDP. We now move over to South Asia. For the first time, Canada's premier intelligence agency has officially confirmed that Khalistani extremists are using Canadian soil to promote, fundraise and plan violence in India. This marks a major shift in Ottawa's stance, as the term extremism has never been used before by Canada in relation to Khalistanis. The admission validates India's long-standing concerns that Canada has become a safe haven for anti-India elements. The development comes just after a high-level meeting between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Canadian counterpart Mark Carney on the sidelines of the G7 summit in Banff. The two leaders agreed to take constructive steps to rebuild ties, including the early return of high commissioners to each capitals and the resumption of senior-level talks on trade and connectivity. Ties have soured in 2023 after then PM Justin Trudeau accused India of involvement in a Khalistani leader's death, a claim that India has rejected. Tensions are rising between New Zealand and the Cook Islands after Wellington suspended over $18 million in budget funding for 2025 to 2026. The move comes after ties are strengthening between the Cook Islands and China, raising security concerns for New Zealand. In the latest development, China spoke about its ties with the Cook Islands. Let's listen in to what was said.
新西兰和库克群岛都是中方的重要合作伙伴。中库合作不针对任何第三方，也不应受到第三方的干扰和制约。
Foreign Minister Winston Peters' office stated the funding was based on a high-trust relationship, which they now feel has been compromised. Earlier this year, New Zealand also halted funding to Kiribati due to China's increasing presence in the Pacific. New Zealand claims the Cook Islands failed to properly consult on agreements signed with China in February, which cover areas like DC mining and education, but not security. The Cook Islands insists it remains committed to New Zealand as its closest partner for security and defence, acknowledging a breakdown in communication and working to resolve it. This dispute arises as New Zealand's Prime Minister Christopher Luxon visits Beijing, where he is expected to address concerns about China's influence in the Pacific. Now we move over to South America.